Right, so we've talked about down there and what we're doing to kind of help things heal and look after ourselves. Let's talk boobs, okay? So whether or not you're breastfeeding, um, but let's assume that you are for a lot of these self-care tips, because a lot of them are because of breastfeeding the baby. Just take what applies to you in your situation and don't take what doesn't apply to you. So the first probably thing that happens is when your milk comes in, which is like about 3-ish days after baby's born, and your milk comes in, and your boobs just get like engorged, and it's really, really uncomfortable. It's this horrible ache, and it's really uncomfortable. So again, like with everything, keep well hydrated yourself. That's going to help, and just feed baby as much as possible. This is a time where baby is cluster feeding anyway. Something I found really helped, again, through the milk coming in process and then going onwards into breastfeeding, was like self massage with massage oil. So Relada do a really good one called, it's just called nursing oil. So I'll put a link to that below as well. But that's a really good like massage oil that you can use on your breasts just to massage them, and just it just helps with like blood flow and that getting rid of that feeling of being really full, over full and uncomfortable, which is just a really uncomfortable feeling even thinking about it now. So self massage is a really good one. Also, on a side note, if you are thinking about milk production, most of us will, under the right circumstances, make enough milk to provide baby with. If you are feeling that you want to have a little bit of help with increasing the milk production for whatever reason, then something I used to do was drink fennel tea. You can get like particular blends of like mother tea or nursing tea, which are great. And I use them, but I also used like just fennel tea. So there's one by Pukka Tea, which is like 3 fennel, and I still drink it now because it's actually really good for digestion. But I used to drink it like non-stop because I had a preemie baby and I was expressing milk. So I really wanted to have that help with getting my milk production up, because it was, under more difficult circumstances to make it. If you're going for herbal tea as well, fennel and fenugreek are 2 really good herbs for breast milk production. And also then you get the inevitable like sore, cracked nipples. So invest in some good nipple balm. Again, the Leda one, I really recommend that one. I only unfortunately discovered it, I think it was only released after my first baby had been born. So I had it with my second, and I didn't have as much problems then with my nipples. So I only got to use a tiny little bit on my tube. So it's still sat there waiting for me to use it. It smelled really nice, but I'm going to put a link to that one below as well. So do, especially if it's first baby, get a bloody good nipple balm because it hurts. Now, obviously, something you need to think about if you are going out and about is leakage. If you're breastfeeding, you're inevitably going to leak. It can happen when your baby cries. It can happen when someone else's baby cries. It can happen just because you've got a bit overfull and you're having a bit of a leak. So you can get a lot of these breast pads that you pop in your bra. They're kind of like sanitary towels for boobs. They look like little round sanitary towels, and you shove them in your bra and then you can leak into them. And I have used them in the past. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using them, because unless you've got to change them really regularly, and you can also end up where you can, because it's sort of all, I hate the word moist, but it's the best descriptive word I can use, because it gets like moist, and if there's leaks and it's a warm area as well, you can open yourself up potentially to getting thrush there, which then passes between like your nipple and the baby's mouth with oral thrush. You can buy like reusable ones, like washable ones. I think in the end, personally, I didn't majorly go out and about anywhere where I didn't have a coat on. And if I did, then yeah, I did use the odd disposable breast pad, but literally just while I was out the house and just not for too long. So, as well as the bleeding, there's the fluid loss. So, expect in the early days and weeks to be peeing a lot. It seems counterintuitive sometimes when you're like trying to lose water to drink more, but it helps with your kidneys. It helps process all the fluid that's being lost and kind of flush everything through. And finally, I'm just going to talk about massage and closing the bones. So, massage is fantastic, not just because it's relaxing, it also promotes blood flow to the area. So, the blood flow helps again with healing, and it also increases the hormone oxytocin, which is fantastic for bonding with baby and helping you with breastfeeding. There's loads of YouTube videos online as well about self massage techniques which you can do, or get your partners. Yeah, get your partner to massage you. Come on, you've just had a baby. Get them to massage you with some oils. Lavender oil is always a good all rounder. Everybody loves lavender oil unless you hate the smell of lavender. Then get another one. But oil and massage is just a great, great tonic for the body. Okay, so the final thing is called closing the bones, and that is like a traditional practice in many cultures around the world, but it's essentially the practice of wrapping the midsection of the body after birth. And as part of a traditional practice, it's usually done with fabric. You can go online to places like Amazon now and see our kind of Western modern day version of this, which are those belts. And they're supposed to support you postpartum, your body. But to be honest, I did get one and it was absolutely rubbish. It rode up because obviously, I had quite a bit of fat and loose muscle and things around my belly because I just had a child. And so that pushed all this belt upwards, and it was just rubbish. It didn't do anything, and it was really, really uncomfortable when it was kind of on. So I just got rid of it. The easiest thing to use, if you're not going to go with the traditional fabric method, is like a tubular bandage. So that gives you quite a good snug support around the midsection, but it's not too tight, and it's quite comfortable to wear as well, day to day underneath your clothing. So those are just my few physical self-care tips for after you've had your baby. As we go more into the postpartum recovery tips series, we're going to be covering things more specifically. So, like exercise after baby is born, and also more about breastfeeding as well. Keep the conversation going on our Facebook page or on our Instagram page, and I will see you soon.